going to talk about body image and body issues today. I was looking at Mad Men with Christine Hendricks in it. Has got a very, what's the word, hourglass figure, which is so unfashionable these days, but was after the Second World War till really the 70s or 80s, really the pinnacle of perfection. It's only recently that everyone's sort of skinny and weird and angular, and it's very similar to like in the 1920s, which was when women were trying to get more in control, and there's a theory they were trying to look more like men really. The flappers were just straight up and straight down, although it was still skirts, so they were sort of feminine. They were trying to get the vote, they were trying to fit in a world that there was a lot more of them than men because so many people had died in the First World War. So there's a lot of reasons why body image changed in the 20th century and throughout history. You look at, well, for most of history, in and out was the ideal for women. Although in Greek society with the togas, not the togas, they didn't wear togas, that's Roman, that it's very, it's flattering but in a different way, and they didn't really emphasise any bits of the body. Whereas the corsetry in Victorian times and after the Second World War and various stuff, it just made everything more extreme. Now, I'm not saying that's a good thing, because that is an ideal that very few people can live up to, and the trouble is the people that are naturally like that these days, the women, I'm sure there's some men like that, but yes, the women that look like that are not the most fashionable these days. The most fashionable is another image that you can never really get, with the whole skinny boniness with maybe fake boobs, which you can get if you pay a lot of money for, and they're going to look rubbish, but that's apparently what a lot of people want, is really rubbish fake looking boobs. I'm not sure why. Boobs are a bit of a burden when they're natural. Why you would spend money to have really ugly looking heavy silicone-y, they're not silicone anymore, are they? They're like saline. I don't know. No disrespect to the women that have had boob jobs, but I don't quite understand what the point is. But yeah, there are 2 points. Obviously, yeah, that's not true really, because the boobs that they have are more sort of a beach ball sort of shape, and there aren't really any points to them. It's all round. I digress. I really don't know why people, well, I do know why people try to reach the ideal on the society's ideal, but it's not realistic. No matter what your shape is, if you lose weight or you put on weight, unless you do have the extreme plastic surgery, you're going to more or less stay the same dimensions. I mean, I'm slightly more hippie than I was. I'm slightly more of an hourglass than I was when I was younger, when I was more of a triangular shape, although these have been here for a while. But if you haven't naturally got this, it's terrible. Women who are thin want to have the boobs sometimes. If the women that are bigger want to get skinny boniness, the women that are the exact perfection of perfection want to look skinny or fatter or fit. There's nobody wants to be what they are. Nobody. Why does nobody want to be what they are? It doesn't make any sense. I don't want to be who I am, but I am who I am. Well, I'm not my own special creation, that's the point, but you can be your own special creation, I suppose, if you want to. Do it, go for it, but I'm not quite sure why. And also because fashion's changed so quickly, who's to say in 5 years' time you've spent loads of money to look this ideal that's not in fashion anymore, and then you're going to look silly. That's going to happen. That's clearly going to happen with quite a lot of people at the time. But, oh, there was this awful thing that I saw with plastic surgery. It was that in like 1912 or something, all the socialites were having paraffin wax injected into their noses and their cheeks and then all moulded, and the doctor said it was all safe and it was all brilliant and everybody was looking wonderful and happy about it and they were perfect, until the paraffin wax started to melt into lumps in their face and they got all cancer and nastiness. And apparently there was this socialite that was related to, she's not related to Princess Diana. She's her great grandmother or something. But apparently she had it in her nose and it all melted to her jowls, and then in later life she just had to go by the fire to warm it up and stick it back in place. So I'm wondering whether something like that is going to happen with all these plasticky surgery things that are perfectly safe now. Yeah, perfectly safe until it all goes wrong. I think plastic surgery is a very good thing if you want to correct something that is really bad for you, that hurts, that's I think what I'm saying is plastic surgery is good, cosmetic surgery not so good. Yeah, I did a documentary a while ago about plastic surgery, and I interviewed some people that had surgery because of things that they'd had problems. People had beaten them up, they had war wounds, terrible things had happened to them, and it's an awful thing to try. Well, they wanted to look more normal, I suppose. Well, what is normal? But it made them happier and less physically. I don't know what to say. Anyway, what I'm saying, I'm just going to cut this short now. What I'm saying is I think you should be more satisfied with who you are, which is a hard thing to do. And that's all. I'll see you soon anyway. Bye bye.